good. Yes, I think so. Marvellous. Right. Where do we start? Well, nobody's watching yet, so I might as well explain now for the people who watch after the fact. All three of you. And I'll explain once people actually show up. So, hello Internet, Stabby Brit here. I have been to the pub. That's how these things usually start, I think. What usually happens in a drunken video is I explain that I've been to the pub. No, I explain I've been down the ferry. And I've come back from the ferry. And now I'm going to play some video games. This sort of thing usually happens for the patrons only. It gets hidden away, and then I make racist comments about the French. Or comments that would be racist, except for the fact I'm British and therefore can't be racist. Anyway, the rules of the game are simple. In honor of the fact that we've had Islamic terrorist attacks, and in recognition of the fact I really, really want the Hellriggle, I'm going to be playing some Battlefield, mildly intoxicated. Now, in order to get the Hellriggle, I need landmine kills. Unfortunately, the only way I've ever been successful in getting landmine kills is to charge towards a vehicle, get behind it, drop some explosives, and hope the bastard reverses over them. In other words, this is the Allahu Akbar method of destroying vehicles, which I think is rather fitting. So, I want to remind people that this live stream is mildly intoxicated and has absolutely nothing to do with Islam. Despite the fact that I may be yelling Allahu Akbar while attempting to blow up vehicles, I am definitely not doing it in the name of the religion of Islam. It's clearly because I'm mentally ill and possibly drunk. Definitely not because I'm a Muslim. And the fact this is taking place in a map based on the Middle East, where I quite possibly will be playing as an Arab, definitely means there is nothing to do with Islam. Yes, well timed, Link Z, well timed. Let's check the medal. Legion of the Wolf. Well, I completely fucked that up. I didn't even get any squad spots. I've got all the others, though, I think. Yes, let's join now. Yes, you can, Politics for Dummies, assuming you're on the PS4. Let's see.
We have taken objective apples.
They look, they're all part of the same clan. They probably don't want my drunken escapades spoiling their fun. Screw it. I'll use them as spawn points. Yes, if you'd like to join in, by all means, join in. Let's see. Make sure I've got the right gear. Yes. Where am I needed?
We have taken objective butter.
I was looking for you today. I honestly was. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was looking for you today. Hopefully you could get on. I wanted to try and get on last Sunday, but basically, it was my other half's birthday on the Monday, and we had plans for then, and we kind of had to shift things around, and so we went out on Sunday instead. You know how these things are. Plans do not survive contact with me. Shit. Politics. My PS4 username is Tonberry Fey. All one word. That's Tonberry as in the Final Fantasy creature, then F-E-Y-E. There's a story behind that, I just don't remember it. Holy fuck, that's a lot of updates. And holy fuck, we are losing badly. And how can this be possible? We're not playing as the Arab faction. We're playing as the British. The British are the best at everything. Oh, no, wait, that makes perfect sense. You see, what's obviously happened is the Arabs don't know how to lose properly, and therefore we gracious British are demonstrating how to correctly lose a war. As you may know, the British have only lost one war, and that was to the Normans. We lost it so that we could know what losing was like. Once we worked that out, we decided that, well, it wasn't actually that exciting, so we never did it again. I don't spot any vehicles. This is frustrating. Actually, let me check. How am I doing? Oh, right. I don't actually have to use the Hellrigal anymore. I just need land... When did I get 18? This is...
We have taken objective apples.
Well, let's... Should we... No, we'll not play with the Model 10 Hunter. That's a fucking cheap weapon. Let's use the fucking French gun. I'm not saying its name because it's French. Shit. I spawned in a wonderful place, didn't I? They're dropping... Did I kill somebody with that? Yeah, good news me. Right, so... I had a plan forming. Right. The squad leader apparently wants me on Dove. But knowing my luck, he's a Welshman, so I'm not sure if I should obey his orders. That's a sniper. Time to go. Yep, that's definitely a sniper. If we can cower behind this burning Stop shooting me! It's rude! Right. There's someone over there. There is. Ow! Bastard! Right, this is clearly not working. Oh! Wait, squad mate's got a tank. There we are. Squad mate has a tank, we'll spawn in that. He must be a friendly. Oh, bloody hell. It's too early for me to be yawning. This is embarrassing. Oh, shit. I'm pretty sure my warranty expired the moment I hit 30. That would explain a lot of what's happened in my life recently. So, oh, shit. There we are. Crap. You did have to have a friend, didn't you? That's alright. PM there? What time is it here? It's nearly 11 PM here. What? Unless you meant 11 PM there. You're right there, mate. Something wrong with your tracks? Are you wearing duct tape across your face? You are just a little bit weird, mate. Right, let's hop in the tank. No, maybe it's not safe in here. That's a broken gun. Right, well, somebody just sent me a friend request, so I should probably address that. Screw it. The video has probably stopped at this point, but that's fine. I'm just accepting a friend request. There we are. Right, back to the fun. Apparently I've made a friend. Now, oh, there we go. I can finally see again.
We have lost objective Dove.
Marvellous. Yep, I've got your friend request sorted, Politics. We are good to go, apparently. Interesting fact about... Oh, shit. I'm trying to be interesting. Stop shooting me. What's your fucking problem? What do Arabs have against education? Allahu Akbar, you are trying to inform people of historical facts. You must be killed. Bloody backward savages, the lot of you. There's someone trying to take butter. Oi! You are a failure at life, sir. Have a grenade. Ah, right, that's where he was. Right, let's see if you're in. Are you in? I'm not seeing your name. But what I suppose I can do is I can go into friends. There we are. Let's see what happens there. Oh, That's a vehicle. Marvellous. Sorry, I got distracted trying to get politics into the game. There's a vehicle. And hopefully... Oh, it's only a...
tank.
Oh, it's one kill, if I can get it. Right. Well, one kill's better than none, I suppose. It's buggered off, hasn't it? I can hear you. This is the advantage of headphones, actually. There you are. Cunt. Explode! Damn it. Did get a kill. Oh, that's a horse. I think. Is he ours? Yes? No? Maybe? You're... Oh, shit.
See that? An enemy tank.
Drop these and hope for the best. Please don't murder me. Ah, fuck. That's a very big tank I've got to deal with.
We are losing objective Freddy.
Oh! Oh! Fuck you, sir. I cannot believe that worked. And that was just rude.
We have lost objective Duff.
Right, let's see if, Sorry, wrong button. That's what I wanted. There he is. Right, Super Joe.
We have lost objective Freddy.
Squads, that's what I'm looking for. Right. Super Joe, there you are. Marvellous. I think this has worked. Okay, we'll take this objective. And I'm sure this won't end in a disastrous clusterfuck of things. Sorry, not doing very well here. It's very hard to be inventive when part of your brain wants to go to sleep and part of your brain is still thinking about going back to the pub.
We have taken objective Freddy.
But this is... well, this is one of the joys of alcoholism, isn't it? I suppose the advantage of alcoholism as well is you invariably become a political expert. And therefore, as a British person, and someone with a vague knowledge of history and a little bit of alcohol, I know absolutely everything there is to know about the history of the Sinai Desert. The history of the Sinai Desert is that it was called the Sinai Desert because it was discovered by a chap called Reginald Sinai. The fact that several thousand Bedouin had been living there before he arrived is irrelevant, because they were foreign, so it didn't count. Aha! We have an objective. That'll be objective
We
Dove.
have lost objective Freddy.
Now, of course, shortly before the First World War, objective points would just be referred to by, well, letters. Objective A, B, C, D, and so forth. We adopted the phonetic system of apples, butter, Charlie, Dove, in order to confuse the French. Confusing the French obviously made international operations more difficult, but it was worth it, because fuck the French. Apparently I've reminded Link Z of something. Oh, shit. Yes, the British political scene is an absolute clusterfuck. What we basically have at the moment is... we have the Conservative Party, who fucking hate everybody who has less than £1 million, and want to destroy the country, because the only method they can envisage, think of, to reduce the debt and the deficit, which they think is the one and the same. The only way they can think of to reduce these things is by either spending less money or selling public assets. And there is absolutely no other way that a government can possibly increase its revenue. You just have to spend less money and sell public assets. So, obviously the longer the Conservatives are in power, the more the country gets fucked. Ooh, plane! Let's have that. And let's paint it in black and white, because Fuck knows why. It's camouflage! Haha! You can see we perfectly match the desert now. So, yes, basically that's the situation of the Tories. Now, who do we go with next? Slightly further right than the Tories is the UKIP party. Now, to their credit, UKIP actually have a really good immigration policy, which is to close the fucking border and only let people in if they're useful. This is the single most intelligent immigration policy that's ever been conceived, and that is why it worked for thousands of years, and why nobody will do it at the moment. Unfortunately, UKIP's policies are pretty shit everywhere else, although according to that fucking Vox Political, I apparently agreed with them on several other policies, and that was the wrong button, and that's us crashing. Goodbye, airplane. See you later. I do hope my gunner bailed. Yes, he did. Well done, sir. Congratulations, you're not dead yet. That all flowed together a lot better than I expected. And that complete clusterfuck of crashing into the ground brings us neatly to the Liberal Democrats. For those who don't understand British politics, all you need to know about the Liberal Democrats is they promised that when they formed a coalition with the Conservatives, they were going to keep the Conservatives in check and curb the worst of the Conservative excess. And immediately upon reaching power, they did sweet fuck all. They sat around on their arses, claiming a paycheck and letting the Conservatives do whatever the fuck they wanted. And then they wondered why nobody voted for them in 2015. The Liberal Democrats are an irrelevance. I don't know why they still exist, but they continue to pretend to be a political party. So, you know, well, it takes all sorts to make a world, doesn't it? And that's me shot. By a Hellriggle. What a surprise. EDL. Okay, EDL aren't a major party, but I will touch on them. The EDL, the English Defence League, started out as a group of people who were very concerned about the Islamization of Britain. And despite what anyone claims, and no, I'm not a fucking racist for saying this. Excuse me. Hiccups. The EDL actually had a valid point. The thing is, they basically got overrun by racists to the point where the founder of the EDL disowned them. And when the founder of your political party disowns you, you know you fucked up. UKIP, take note. So basically the EDL are just a bunch of blatant racists by this point. However, they are making gains in Liverpool. Specifically, this time when they recently held a rally in Liverpool, they actually got out of the train station before they got blocked in and were forced to go home. This is a massive gain and can only mean that by 3012 the EDL might be almost relevant in British politics. Speaking of almost relative in British politics are the Green Party. The Green Party, I'm going to be sort of nice to. They are a victim of our unfair political system. Because the Greens actually have some really good policies. Or, well, some... Maybe that's not fair. They have one or two really good policies, and then a lot of passable policies. The problem is that nobody's ever going to vote for them because they're the Green Party. And basically you have three options in British politics. You can vote for the Conservative Party if you're rich or retarded. You can vote for Labour, or you can throw your vote away. And basically, that's why the Greens are such a small party, because they are never, ever, ever going to get any power. Not unless there's some major reform to the voting system, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. Possibly if Labour gets into power, but even then I'm not sure. So, that covers everyone except Labour, and Labour are an oddball. It's kind of hard to pin down what Labour are. Because... that was rude. Because Labour have traditionally been the party of the people. And then they got a bit full of themselves and went a bit Marxist. And then this... basically a war criminal named Tony Blair got in charge of the party and turned them into a right-wing neoliberal borderline fascist wet dream. Basically a party that would oppose anything that got in the way of earning money and support anything that brought in a profit. So basically, Diet Tory. And this pretty much destroyed British politics. Because Labour became the Conservative Party under Blair, and the Conservatives became an even more right-wing version of themselves. And then UKIP came along and threatened to take away power from the Tories, so the Tories became an even more right-wing version of themselves. And now Labour have thrown off the Blairite era and realised we need to go back in time. And so they appear to be going back in time to the Marxism era.
We have lost Objective Charlie.
Yeah, Corbyn... I don't know, I want to like him. I'm not sure if I do, but I want to. If that makes any sense at all. Jeremy Corbyn is one of these politicians where he should probably not talk as much as he does. On occasion, he is a very good politician, and one thing I cannot fault him on is he is definitely an honest man. I cannot fault him on that. He is honest, and he does stick to his principles. The question is whether his principles are a good thing. And I'm still not 100% sold. Have it, horseman.
We have taken Objective Duff.
Yes. Absolutely. That's how you know I'm a patriot, sir. Because a true British patriot hates his country. Because that's basically the default state of a British person. If you ever encounter a British person that is pleased with something, that probably means he's about to fuck you over and steal your country. British people are horrible, cynical people by nature. We enjoy the misery of other people, and we enjoy our own misery. It's one of the reasons why British comedy doesn't really work with Americans. Because when Americans try to be funny, they try to be upbeat and make light of a situation. When British people try to be funny, they basically point out how awful the Holocaust was because it wasn't done properly. And seriously, that is basically British people in a nutshell. I mean, World War II, if the British people had been fascists, World War II would have been a wonderful experience. Because we basically would have turned around and said, we fucking hate everybody but ourselves. To which Europe would have replied, and what has changed? Okay, so, well, we want to create a homeland for our people. Well, you've got one, it's called Britain. Right. But we want to invade France. Yes, and how is this different to before? Well, we want to invade France in the name of a totalitarian ideology. Well done, Britain, you've realised you're British. What else is different? Well, we're going to build these gas chambers for the Jews. Oh, hang on, this is new. Okay, Britain, explain how this works. Well, we build gas chambers along the coast of Dover, and then we round up all the Jews, and you know what, this is sounding like a lot of work. France, would you gas the Jews for us? Oh, who am I kidding? You're all fucking on strike. Fine, the Jews can stay, but just this once. Providing the Irish leave. Except the Northern Irish, we want to keep those. So, as long as the Irish pretend to be British, they can stay in Ireland. Right. Hang on, this fascism's hard. What were we doing before? Can we just go back to being a bunch of xenophobic racists who hate everyone but the white British population? That sounds a lot easier than fascism. Where am I going with this? I'm going to point C, that's why. Who's on point C? You! And you. Oi! Well, that seems a good point to end the rant, doesn't it? Now what the fuck do we talk about? Oh! I could get a plane again. This ended so well the last time. So, on the subject of British Nazis, who's voting for UKIP on the 8th? Yeah, on the actual vaguely serious subject of the 8th of June, I am almost certainly going to vote Labour, if only because I just want the Tories out that badly. I really, really, really do want the Tories out of power. And time to leave the aircraft. It's not fair! You're not supposed to shoot my airplane. I mean, to be honest, where I live, though, politics is a bit of an irrelevance, I've got to be honest, because I live in a safe seat. I mean, there is... I got a thing through the post from my local Labour candidate, and it basically said, vote for me because I'm going to get into power anyway. And that's basically politics for me. It doesn't matter who I vote for, Labour's going to win. I'm in a safe seat. And I don't particularly agree with safe seats. That was very rude. Hang on, I thought he killed me before. Oh, it must be somebody of the same, platoon. Oh, look, another plane. Well, I fucked up the first plane, and I fucked up the second plane, so I'm bound to do well this time. Hashtag Tory political logic. But I don't know. I honestly don't know who I want in power. I mean, the fact I'm living in the north makes me instinctively want Labour in power. But a part of me thinks a Liberal Democrat government would be interesting. I think I might even support the Greens being in power if they just stopped being a bunch of fucking feminists. Because it offends me. Every party does this, though, and this really fucking offends me. The fact that, like, oh, we need more women in politics. Why? Well, because they have vaginas. Well, that's not a reason to put someone in politics. You know, Theresa May has a vagina and she's a fucking idiot. Can we please have someone in power who belongs there, not just putting them in so we can say, look, we taught a black person to wear a suit. And that is honestly how this fucking tokenism quota system looks to me. It's people boasting about the fact they taught a black person to wear a suit. The most racist thing I can think of is dropping bombs on Arabs. No, wait, that's perfectly acceptable because I'm British. The most racist thing I can think of is giving a black person a job because they are black. It's like the most sexist thing you can do is giving a woman a job because she's a woman. You know, by all means, if she's qualified for the job, and she's more qualified than somebody else who happens to be male, give her the fucking job. I'm all for that. I celebrate that. But don't hire people because they're a vagina and you want to have more vaginas in the workplace. Who's shooting me? That's rude. Yeah. It really is a sad situation, isn't it? It's like, yeah, I think voting Lib Dem might be a good idea. Clearly I have a mental illness. I think voting Green might be a good idea. Yeah, clearly I have a mental illness. I'm thinking about voting Tory. Clearly I fucking hate myself and my potential children and everyone else in the country. I'm thinking of voting Labour. Clearly I want the country to go bankrupt. There is no good option. It's basically vote for the least shit candidate. And politics should not be that. That was unfortunate.
We have taken objective Duff.
Okay, you have made a point. No, not being... I think you're confused. I mean... Women's Equality Party. No, I think you're confused because... British people... God, hiccups are horrible. British people invented racism. We perfected it. And that's why... That's why you... There's no point in calling a British person racist. It's like stamps. You see, British people invented stamps. So British stamps don't have to say they're British. You just see a British stamp and it's British. Every other country has to explain that they're not British. And it's the exact same thing with racism. Being British is automatically being racist, and being better at being racist than everybody else on the planet, by default. Nobody else can out-racist a British person. So there's no point in calling British people racist. It's like calling the sky blue. It's built in. And that's also how you can tell when people aren't British. Like, Diane Abbott complains about being subjected to racism. Well, Diane, you're in Britain. What did you expect? If you didn't want to be subjected to racism, you should have moved to America. Honestly. It's part and parcel. British people hate everyone. Everyone who isn't white, everyone who isn't straight, everyone who isn't male, everyone who isn't British. And if you are British, you're probably from the wrong part of Britain. For example, if you're from Scotland, we hate you. If you're from Wales, we hate you, although it's not really worth the effort, there's only 3 of you. If you're from Northern Ireland, we hate you. If you're from the Republic of Ireland, you're a foreign country, so we've already covered that. And if you're from England, you're probably from the wrong part of England, so get fucked. And that's basically the British view on everyone in a nutshell. Everyone but me is the wrong sort of British. And apparently we're going to be leaving the arrows behind. That's a shame. Didn't do very well, really. I should have actually checked how I'm doing with the various guns. I want to get the shiny service stars with all of them. So, fuck off, Hawk. There is only... the north of England is the only true England. You're all fucking Frenchmen in disguise. You're not fooling me, mate. I did rather well, I think. Fun fact for anyone who doesn't live in Britain, there is actually a... all countries have some weird cultural divides. It's a fact of life. Let's open the battle pack. But Britain has one of my favourite cultural divides of all time. Yeah. And you see, in Britain, there is a thing called the gravy line. And what the gravy line is, this is going to sound really weird to anyone who doesn't live in America. Oh, that's unfortunate. But basically, we have shops, fish and chip shops. You know, it's fast food, which focuses primarily on chips, or fries, I think Americans call them, but thicker. So chips in gravy. But that's if you're in the north. If you're in the south, they don't use gravy. And that's the Great Divide. There is an invisible line across Britain called the gravy line. And everyone north of this line puts gravy on their chips. And everyone south of this line does not. And everyone south of the line is wrong. Oh god, I'm squad leader. This is going to end so fucking well. Speaking of ending well. Yes. I've got to admit, the whole fries, chips, crisps thing confuses me. Alright, let's try Echo.
Take the objective.
And then we'll just try for the center. Oh, I see where you are. You're over... Are you over towards Dove? No, you're over towards Charlie. We'll have that one. Drunk Brits are amazingly good fun. To be honest, the quality of drunk does vary a bit. I think I'm sobering up a bit. This is unfortunate. I should have bought some alcohol to bring home with me and make friends with.
We have taken objective
The quality of drunk does depend. The quality of drunk does depend on which part of Britain. I'm going to get through the symptoms eventually. On which part of Britain you're in, and in my God, I'm really struggling. In my not opinion. What's the word for when you do a thing and you remember doing a thing? Experience! There we are. In my experience, the best place to encounter drunks is Leeds. It probably makes up for the fact that the road network in Leeds is an absolute clusterfuck. It's the worst road network I've ever had the misfortune to drive on anywhere in the country. But getting drunk in Leeds was great fun. Everyone was so friendly. Which obviously made me suspicious, because anyone who tries to be friendly with you in Britain probably wants to take money off you. They're probably either out to mug you, or they're a Nigerian prince. Are we about to take the entire thing?
Hold the objective.
Bloody hell, we have. We have secured the entire map.
Take the objective.
See, this is what happens when you put Angela Merkel in charge of the Germans. Instead of blitzkrieging their way through the Allied lines, they're too busy trying to police the thousands and thousands of refugees charging through their spawn point. Where did that come from? Right. Oh, I see a vehicle. I'm never going to get to it, am I? That's a damn shame. Oh, well, I got an... Oh, crap. I got an assist, at least. Hiding. Let's put that on.
Objective must be protected.
Oh, you know what? If I leave some mines, say, here... then sooner or later someone's going to drive down that road, because that is a relatively sheltered road. I'm sure someone will try and drive through there eventually. Bugger! There we go. Where are you? Where'd he go? Oh well, let's reload. My thoughts on the monarchy. I am a staunch royalist. I am very, very fond of the Queen. And I am very, very fond of her husband, who is possibly the greatest asset to Britain ever, because he is quintessentially British, despite the fact he was born in Greece. And what makes him so British is the fact that he is so brazenly racist. It's like, oh, hello. And what do you do? Where are you from? Nigeria? Have they got electricity there yet? Jolly good. Fuck. I'm going to be so sad when he dies. I really am. He is... He is just... the news of, like, him stepping down from royal duties... I've got to give him fucking fair play to him. He was doing his royal job. How old is he? What, 90? That's fucking commendable. I don't care what your affiliation is. If you are still working at 90, you know, that is. Oh, hello, Mama Meme. I mean, that is commendable. The thing I'm concerned with, though, is like the royals I really like are the old guard. You know, the really old, brazenly racist crew. I'm not sure I approve of the young blood. Really? I love that. Oh, hello, are you a stripper? No, Your Highness, a member of the Royal Navy. Good Lord! They're allowing women aboard ships now, are they? The thing is, I just can't... I can't imagine ever being offended by anything he says, because Well, I think because he's old. It's like, you can't be offended at old people racism. You know, it's just like, oh, well, they don't know any better. They've probably got Alzheimer's. Hooray! We've successfully destroyed a plane. Oh dear, I'm losing the point. And the plot. Now, see, this is what I think, you know, we're seeing all this bullshit coming from, like, universities in America where they're demanding segregation back and they're demanding racial discrimination. I think they just really, really want to be back under British rule. I think they actively crave the days when there was an upper-class British person telling them how to live their lives. Because I think this was a great service we gave to the rest of the world. Because when we were controlling everything, when we were in charge, everybody had something to hate. You could just blame all your problems on the British. You know, it's like, you're an Indian, and, you know, everything's awful. You know, you don't have any indoor plumbing or electricity, and there's feces in the street, and the drinking water's full of typhoid, and there's no jobs. You can blame the British. It's all our fault. And then we fucked off and made India independent, and they realised it's not our fault, it's their fault. Same with everywhere else. It's like, look what happened to America. You know, America was fucked off of, oh, Britain wants us to pay taxes, we'll rebel. We'll form our own government, how hard could it be? And then they formed the Congressional Congress, the Confederation of States, and it fucked up. The Articles of Confederation was the single worst political article ever written since UKIP produced a manifesto. They fucked up royally. And why? Because they didn't have us to blame. Think how much better America would be if we were still in charge. They could blame us for Donald Trump. You wouldn't have all these people rioting and protesting in the streets because it'd be like, well, yeah, Donald Trump's terrible, but it's obviously the British who are to blame for him. You know, he wouldn't be in charge if we were independent, but we're not going to become independent, you know, just in case. Yep, it's official. The world is so much better if Britain is oppressing everybody. Oh, I don't know. I've kind of got the same problem with Trump I have with British politics right now. I'm not convinced that he would be worse than the alternative. I'm pretty sure Hillary would be worse. But he's not really winning me over right now.
We have lost objective apples.
And, what? USA is more powerful than the UK. No, we just let you think that. Britain is the most powerful country on Earth. We just can't be arsed actually enforcing it. Why would we want to retake a fucking penal colony? Whoops. That was confusing. No, I really should visit Australia at some point. My sister's been to Australia. She went there for 6 months, and then unfortunately came back. Which was, a great disappointment to the rest of the family. Oh, that was... that...
We have taken objective butter.
I do think I would like to visit Australia, though. Although, I do hear New Zealand's a bit more habitable. The way I've often heard New Zealand described is that it's basically Britain in the 1950s. You know, it's like stepping back in time. It's a bit like Wales, except... I was going to say it's a bit like Wales, people don't fuck the sheep, but the New Zealanders do fuck the sheep, don't they? So it's just like being in Wales, except it's bigger. On the subject of Wales, I've been doing some I've been doing some reading on Wales, and actually I'm not convinced Wales is actually a country. Because as I understand the history of Wales, it was a separate country up to about 1,000 years ago, and then it was basically given to the crown and became a principality. And it all gets a bit vague as to what happened then, because technically it might still be a principality, but it's not really clear. Oh, I thought I got blown up by a zebra there, but apparently not. But basically, I'm not actually sure New Zealand's a country. I think it's actually just a principality of Great Britain that we sort of let pretend to be a country because it's kind of funny. It's funny to see it happen. Oh, I'm from Wales. Of course you are. And you're a real country. Yes, you are. You're such a real country, little Wales. You've got your own parliament and everything. Sorry, that kind of went from condescending to the Metal Gear voice. For those of you who are fans of Zero Punctuation. Oh, fucking hell. I want to play Metal Gear Solid 5 again now, but I don't know. Metal Gear Solid 5 lost me a bit. It was a very, very strange game. It did a lot of strange things. And it was just an endless run of Metal Gear? Why does my character, in a game set in the 1950s, have a highly advanced bionic arm that lets him use 21st century technology? I'm sorry, I just thought it'd be fun. And Metal Gear, why does your fast travel system basically revolve around smoking a large amount of pot? I'm sorry, I rather enjoy smoking pot because it lets me ignore the fact that Hideo Kojima hates his life. What, the Principality of Hut? If that's not run by a man named Jabba, I will be very, very upset. Did I actually blow up anyone with a landmine this game? No, I didn't. That's really kind of annoying. How badly have I done this game? Fuck me sideways. No, it's an enemy plane, isn't it? It's gonna fucking drop bombs on me. I know it. Run away! Right, so basically got all of 2 minutes to get a load of kills. I'll be honest, I really haven't been paying any attention to anything happening in this game. Huzzah! Incendiary grenade. Much more humane than shooting them, you know. Much more humane. Burning Germans alive. It's the... I asked the Conservative Party if it was more humane than a bullet in a head, and they said yes, so, well, they know all about killing things humanely, I suppose. Come on, somebody come and grab that bike. That was probably my explosives going off, wasn't it? Aww. Someone just... Whoa! What was that? Oh, thank you. I've kind of lost the plot by this point. I did have a plan, actually, because for once, I sort of planned ahead, because I had a plan how I wanted to end this stream.
We are winning.
I composed a little song while walking home from the pub. It was a song I was going to end the stream with to commemorate my attempts to blow up vehicles in the name of Allah.
Yeah, that's enemy cavalry.
And I've sort of forgotten the lyrics. I think I need another drink. Give me a second. Right, there we go. So, to end on a song. This is a composition of my own making called Nothing to Do with Islam. This has nothing to do with Islam, and to say otherwise is haram. But I said it, I defied Allah's will, and so in Allah's name must be killed. In the name of Sharia, beheadings on the air, but that has nothing to do with Islam. And that seems a good place to call this skull fuckery quits. I think next time I'm going to do some drunk Fallout. Wow. Look at how fucking awful this squad was. Huzzah for the failed squad. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, I'm done. Stabby Brit signing out until next time. Possibly there will be a video at some point. I forget. Is this still rolling?